Ah, man. It is, folks, it's January 7th, 2020. And I'm happy to report to you that Jason Garrett is still fired. Hello everybody, it's me, Cowboy Legends for Life, coming back at you again with another video with my host as you like the last one. And I want to tell you that, start off with that, we're discussing these issues. Everybody's on the YouTube and elsewhere, around the league, around the talking heads, are discussing the issue of Mike McCarthy being hired as the Dallas Cowboys coach still. And I wanted to say to some of my subscribers, Buddy especially, that you see now, as you listen to what I said early on, almost a week ago, about me not being fully accepting of Mike McCarthy being hired. Now you see why. It just wasn't my opinion that I felt about that early on. You see now all across the league, all across the talking heads on television, that people are puzzled about this hiring. Listen. I respect Mike McCarthy. He won a Super Bowl. They went to the NFC Championship numerous times, and he turned out to be a tough coach, and that's a good thing. All right, but listen, he's here. He's got a contract, and then, like I say about it, all I'm saying is that anybody, just about anybody, is an upgrade from Jason Garrett, the man who never even got out the divisional round, and he only been there 3 times. 3 times. He's only been there 3 times in 10 years. So, and 9 years as an official, full seasons, okay, with the Cowboys. So that's even worse, So, and how he lost the chance to go to the postseason 3 straight years, it makes that even worse. How he did it, last game of the season. He's just not equipped. He's not intelligent enough, okay? I don't care if he came from Princeton or Harvard or anywhere else he came from. I don't care if he came from Newark, New Jersey. Okay, he wasn't qualified, all right? But I will say this. Mike McCarthy's a different story. I just didn't feel the fit that he would fit in to the scheme that we have, because now I find out that the Cowboys have kept Kellen Moore, and I'm very, very happy about that. I think that Mike McCarthy accepted that, and I'm glad he did. And again, at the same time, we know here that Chris Richard is being kept at this point in time right now. And there's some people who are not happy about that. I get your point. I understand how you feel. But truth of the matter is, I'm happy he's kept. If they're going to keep him, happy he is with the Cowboys. All right? Because I don't think what happened this season is in terms of the failure of the defense was all his fault. Yeah, he was in charge of the defensive backs. He was in charge of the pass plays. But we got beat by the run. The majority of the times we lost those games and was set up with some passing games. We got beat by the run. That's a Marinelli situation. That's a Marinelli's responsibility. Okay? Marinelli was in charge of the front line and in charge of the linebackers. Okay? And they failed miserably. And then it was left to the D-backs to try to pick up the slack from which they lost. It was the running game that killed us. That's a fact. And I understand how brother Gerard's feeling. He wanted a clean slate. And a lot of people, he's not alone. A lot of people wanted a clean slate. And I didn't want that. I mean, if you want to keep anybody, Chris Richard or Moore, I'd rather keep Moore, because he proved himself. Even though he made some mistakes, and he's going to learn. He's a rookie, 29, 30 years old. And this is the first time the Cowboys been a number 1 offense since 77, long before he was born. Okay, so, I think about that, and I think about that deeply. How close was, in the Jason Garrett era, the highest offensive ranking that they ever been was 5. I'm sorry, the highest, 5. 5. That's the highest. The lowest, 22. Twice. 20, and last year was that, 22. And we did pretty good, considering with the 22 ranked offense. And the fact of the matter is, you look at it again, we are number 1, and we did pretty damn bad. So totally. That's due to the defense, who lost a lot of those games. The kicking game as well, special teams really was disastrous too. So I can't put all that on Chris Richard. He couldn't stop the water. He couldn't stop the dam breaking because the dam broke. You deal with the water afterwards when it comes over the dam. The front line is the dam, okay? The reservoir is the linebackers, and they failed. So it was left to the DBs to try to put the sandbags down, and he didn't put enough down sometimes. So it wasn't him. And here's the thing. He got a guy who was efficient in cover 3, and you got an old guy who was efficient in cover 2. Like I said, you had 2 chefs in the kitchen, and both of them going to put in different ingredients. But it was chef number 1 who was allowed to retain the title. And what he didn't do enough was one thing that killed the Cowboys off defensively for years. He did not blitz. Rarely, ever did this man blitz. And let me tell you, you got teams who's winning in the postseason now. Know why? They're blitzing. You see Minnesota destroyed Saints, right? Breeze, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Know why they whooped his ass? They blitzed. Mike Zimmer don't play that shit. He blitzes. He's a Bill Parcells associate for underling, just like Belichick is a Bill Parcells underling. Even Freddie Kitchens a Bill Parcells underling. Okay, there are a number of them were. Sean Payton, Bill Parcells underling, and they were taught to blitz. Well, Kitchen was offense, but that's a different scheme here. There's still a Bill Parcells underlings. And the thing is that Bill Parcells didn't play. He did not back down. He was always aggressive. Okay? Marinelli wasn't aggressive. He's just the same mannerism as Jason Garrett. Now, there are people who like the fact that Mike McCarthy is the coordinator. And you know what? I don't feel bad about Mike Nolan becoming the defensive coordinator. I think that's a good move. Okay? He's got a good track record. He does. So I accept that. But it's accepting for me to say that Mike McCarthy is our head coach, and there's nothing I can do about that in terms of just accepting it, because I don't hate him the fact that he is a Cowboys head coach. I just thought that there were other choices that they could have went to that were better, and I felt we needed a college fresh start. Okay, like we did in the beginning when Jerry Jones first bought the Cowboys and announced how big of an ass he was when he fired Tom Landry, the way he did. So, but other than that, I mean, Jimmy Johnson was a college coach, 2 Super Bowls. You had the man who replaced him, like I said before, college coach, came in to replace Jimmy Johnson, won a Super Bowl with the same team. Okay, but everybody else other than Bill Parcells don't get no. You can't give him no negative. Okay, because he rebuilt the Cowboys. You knew he was going to do that. But other than that, every single coach they had after that was an abject failure. And still, if I had a choice of between those coaches that were on the Cowboys list that worked for the Cowboys, I would still pick. I'm sorry, his name again. I keep forgetting his man's name. Dave Campbell. I would still pick Dave Campbell over Jason Garrett every time. And he was 5-11 3 straight years, but he had nobody. Everybody was gone when he took him. Jason Garrett had everybody and couldn't do shit with them. And Dave Campbell was still one of the greatest defensive mindeds that we had in Dallas history. He was. He was number one couple of times with the Cowboys defense. Number 1 ranked. So I would have just I'm just saying to you that that's how poor we were in terms of coaching. The coaching decisions made by Jerry Jones. The president, owner, operator, general manager, and all that other shit that goes with that bullshit. Listen, people say, well, it's too tough to blame Jerry Jones. Look, if he's crying for the accolades in which he fired 2 coaches for, or got rid of 2 coaches for that, then you know what? He should get the punishment, and he should get also the criticism for taking the whole title. So the hell with that. There's never been a general manager in NFL history. He's one of the longest tenures ever in history of the NFL as a general manager, and have been basically a complete abject failure for 25 years. Period. But see, he won't fire himself. There goes the problem. Jerry Jones. So anyway, with that, I accept Mike McCarthy's hiring. I love the fact that he picked Nolan. That's pretty good. And I'm grateful. I'm pretty sure that Moore's still with us, and I'm grateful that they may keep Chris Richard. I like that. If they keep Kitna, because he's very in tune to what Dak is into in terms of quarterbacking, because he got Dak to improve tremendously. Dak has improved tremendously under Kitna. I'm trying to get my thoughts together. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to force my words. I shouldn't do that. That's what I taught when you're taught in writing in all the years back. Can't force your words when you speak, okay? So what I say is that Kitna was absolutely fantastic for Dak Prescott and his level of play and improvement, which helped them make to be number one in offense. I don't want to hear people say that, well, they need to get the ball more to Zeke than they let Dak throw the ball. There are both sides of the instances where that Dak needed to throw that ball, and the other side of the instances where Zeke needed to get the ball himself. Okay, it depended on the game. Too bad that Jason Garrett could not figure that out. Too bad that he didn't fucking figure that out. That's all. He never adjusted. Here's a man who didn't do analytics. And analytics came all the way back when Tom Landry started. He was the first to do analytics. He was the first to use computers. Okay, that was an innovation. Okay? And his staff did computers and analytics. So even up to this very point from in the 70s and 60s and stuff, all the way to Jason Garrett today, 2019, this jackass wouldn't even use analytics. Just go, please. I'm just happy to report he's still gone. That's all. So anyway, that's my opinion about what's taking place the last few days. I think this is a good move that Nolan's with us, and if they have kept both Moore and Kitna and Richard, I'm happy about that too. I mean, you can find room for them, and if they fail, then you think about McCarthy got 4 more years left and replaced them. Okay, let's see now that they're not under Jason Garrett and not under Marinelli, and see how well they do. That's all. We've been waiting 25 years to see a goddamn Super Bowl. I think we can wait another year to see how it goes. I would. All right, y'all. Thank y'all. See y'all later.